All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Something Cafe podcast. I am your host. Did you just burp?
My arm on the chair.
All right. Welcome back to the Something Cafe podcast. I'm your host, Celestino Dooley, and with me I have, returning for the third time.
No, second.
Third, right? Really?
Yeah.
Second time. Ambiguous. My father.
Hello,
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Dad.
Papa D.
Catch your breath. That was. He wrote that and practiced it in front of the mirror with his shirt off.
I'm Papa D.
That was.
I'm Papa D.
There you go. No, the more times you say it, the funnier it gets. This is the Something Cafe podcast, the podcast where we talk about something and nothing at the same time. And this is episode 36. And today, obviously, we got on Papa D, my dad, on for the second time. And what I have prepared for us today is a little bit of, so Dad hasn't seen the last episode, but I did an IQ test. And the reason I bring that up is because I have another test to take. But he's going to be the one doing the test. And I'm going to be the one reading him the answers. And I'm very excited to see what kind of results we're going to get. But before we get into that, we want to, we are not sponsored by Mitra 9, but we want to thank them for putting us in a good mood, although we are already in a good mood because we ate probably 6 days worth of calories and watched comedians on podcasts for the last 2 hours of today, 12 hours yesterday, for a total of 47 hours. That sounds about right. Out of all the comedians that you and I watch together, separate, whatever, who is your favorite? Just one. And if you can't choose one, do a little debate between both of them.
At the moment, I change as time goes on and watching different people. I'd say Shane Gillis is probably up there right now.
As in up there, you're number one?
Yeah.
Who's the second? And think all time, because right now Theo Von and Shane Gillis are fresh in our heads, but I mean, think about our roots, right?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on some of that.
Hedberg?
What's that?
Hedberg?
Oh yeah, Mitch.
Does Shane beat Mitch for you?
I don't know.
I'm gonna make you answer that.
They each have their own type of comedy.
Cop-out answer?
I mean, I like them for both of who they are.
Are you deciding the president right now? They're both great. They have their own values. I'm better. Mitch or Shane? Mitch or Shane? In their prime.
Boy, that... So Mitch is like punchline kind of comedy, and Shane is more like kind of average Joe kind of stuff, like storyteller, funny stuff, and he's funny how he delivers it. I don't know. I mean, Mitch is definitely up there. It's just he can't make any more.
That's fair. He has the way to go, Dad, for bringing in the mortality point, giving it to Shane. I guess, yeah, Shane does win because Shane is not dead. Yeah, dude, that's a hard one because you are exactly right. You know, obviously, but all of their jokes, like, they both write the jokes. They aren't I mean, every comedian does improv to an extent, but you know when a comedian is like 75% improv, 25% written, and that's where you find like the crowd work comedians. Because crowd work is all improv.
Mhm.
Like you could have like some like backup lines if you see like a fat Mexican dude, like you probably already have some stuff saved up for that. If you see two girls sitting at a table, you've got some lesbian jokes ready for that. But you have like the crowd work people, which is all improv, which I don't think Mitch ever did crowd work.
No.
No.
No, he was set stuff.
Yeah. Shane doesn't do crowd work either unless the show is built for it, like Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough one really because Mitch Hedberg, for those of y'all who don't know, obviously Shane, the majority of y'all listening are gonna know who Shane Gillis is. But Mitch Hedberg is a comedian who passed away. I mean, what, before 2000?
Yeah.
After 2000?
After 2000, I think.
But before 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad and I's favorite comedian, just combined, and the sentimental, like, just because that's probably the first comedian you ever showed me.
And what I like about both guys we were mentioning is they are taking like life experiences and exploiting it to make it, find the funny in it.
It's relatable too, sometimes.
And a lot of it's very relatable. The what?
When you're thinking about relatable, like, I think Mitch Hedberg has the relatable point because Shane is storytelling, Mitch is relatability, and
his delivery was by far so unique compared to everybody. That's what kind of sets that up another notch.
But the reason I think Mitch gets the relatability point is one of Mitch's jokes that I love is like he set it up like, and I'm doing no justice to the way he delivers it. I'm gonna have. He
didn't stutter.
Yeah.
he only said it once.
Awesome, man. Dude,
that's your niche. You say this joke like 4 times before you get to it.
This is your fault. Something happened in you to make this happen.
Not in me.
Yeah. So, Mitch,
you need to have the cord wrapped around your neck at one point.
True. Your cord wasn't wrapped around my neck. No. So Mitch's delivery was very like, it wasn't stoner humor because I can't stand stoner humor, but it was very like, I haven't watched him in so long. I'm trying to pull it out of my ass right now.
Well, like the one about
I'm trying to do the receipt for the donut.
I bought a donut the other day, and when I got it, they handed me a receipt, and I was like, at what point would I ever need to prove that I purchased a donut?
The insurance that you are providing is utterly useless, and I doubt anyone has taken advantage of the service. Yeah. Like very, like it's something so stupid that everyone, like, we've all thought about like buying a coffee and they give you a receipt. Like I'm not going to walk out of here and get in my car, and if I don't like it, like I'm going to go in and
Did you purchase
and return it. Yeah.
Did you purchase that? Yes, I have a receipt.
That's what he said. The second part of the joke was like, never have I found myself in a situation where I had to be the one to prove I purchased the donut
to my friends.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that donut?
Yeah. I have the evidence right here.
I purchased it.
Or he was like, I was once camping and they're giving you pamphlets for safety. and the only pamphlet for wildlife was for a bear. I am smart enough to know that a bear is not the only animal I will be facing in the wilderness. Where is my pamphlet for a frog?
Tree frog.
Yeah. I will know what to do in front of a bear, but if I see a tree frog, I don't. I do not have a pamphlet for you. The way every joke is something that we've all thought about. Dad's favorite, convenience.
I forget how it was set up, but
an escalator.
I went to, if you think about it, escalator is never broken. It's just inconvenient.
No. He says, if you actually think about it, escalators can't break. They just become stairs.
There's a sign on it that says, sorry for the convenience. Yeah. It is just stairs today.
Oh, it's so good. Now, Mitch Hedberg passed away Heath Ledger style, right? Was his overdose too? Hedberg?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
I thought maybe it was.
I think it was, but
the dude did him some drugs, but
that's probably why his delivery was like that. Obviously it was his shtick, but then
I was playing my music loud in my apartment, and my neighbor's banging on the wall, and I said, "Go around.
There's no door.
There's no door here."
Oh man, for me, I would have to say Shane, because unfortunately there is more material you can view of Shane than there is a Mitch, because Mitch passed so early.
In the earlier days, there wasn't as quality.
There wasn't as quality video
or quantity.
And the only video that you have of Mitch are his specials, and even then, we're bumping that 280. We're bumping that 280p, video quality. And where are these specials recorded? Madison Square Garden, the Comedy Center, like all these super rich venues, and the video's still low quality. So if the rich venues are there, where do you think, Mama Hedberg's working with on the camcorder? There's not going to be as many videos of Mitch doing, what's the word? There's not going to be enough that many videos of Mitch doing sets than there is of Shane, because come on, like we've got hundreds of podcast clips of Shane, ripping jokes. You got SNL's before and after, SNL actual skits, SNL stand up. You've got
the only extra content was like he would be on like late night shows. That's basically how you got into the scene.
Which even then, like
at that time, was,
Mitch can't really let loose on a late show.
He was on like a Letterman and or a Fallon,
and I don't think he could really do some of his set. Like I remember his special. He cussed a few times. And he was like, "Man, I know I'm supposed to keep this clean." I feel like if Joe Rogan's been doing his podcast since 2001. I almost wonder if there isn't an episode with him.
Since Mitch wasn't a rocket fire kind of guy, he took a lot to develop some of his delivery, and so he would get off like 3 jokes on a bit for a late night show.
So good. But yeah. So why did we bring up comedians? We were just talking. It's just Dad and I. This is all Dad and I do when Dad comes over here. We go get a table for 2.
Our
and
bonding
eat.
thing.
Yeah,
and
we
both like humor.
We
find humor in a lot of different things.
Yeah,
and easily are humored by stuff where
a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So basically the routine for when Dad comes down here to Florida, we get a table for 2, but eat for a family of 6, and then we go to a kava bar and hang out there. We sit down at a couch for 2 and take home cans for a family of 6, and then we sit down and we watch. We watch. Last time Dad was down here, we watched a lot of Key and Peele. I think I seriously think we watched every single one of their.
I think so
skits.
too. Because
I mean, we burnt through them. We had that on constantly, and then
I was also here for like
the one
7
before
days too.
was Theo Von.
Theo Von.
The one the time you came here before was I didn't introduce you to Theo Von, but but I don't think you had actually seen that much of his stuff before then. Like
I think Declan turned me on to him a little bit.
But like we watched,
but it was basically like, hey, here, look at this.
We seriously, again, we milked that cow. So every time Dad comes down, I try to think like, what haven't we watched yet? So Shane Gillis, we watched Shane Gillis and Adam Ray on the Kill Tony show, which I think the Kill Tony show is fun. I think it can be really boring and annoying sometimes because when a comedian is bad and when someone is bad at telling jokes, they just resort to sex jokes, and I haven't heard a single one that's funny. And obviously Kill Tony's like the frying pan and the fire for comedians, which is cool. Like that's what makes it cool. But then all you get is just really like 5'3" white dudes who've done comedy twice, and the first time was in front of the mirror, and they get nervous and start talking about sex jokes and stuff, and it's kind of hard for comedians to kind of bank off of that sometimes. Like we were watching one of Theo Von. Did you notice Theo Von did not entertain any lousy sex jokes or anything? Like even when they were doing it, Theo Von would do his thing and go like, "Wait, is that shirt polyester?" You know, like he would switch it up because it's just lousy. It's not funny, and it's jokes for the sake of shock, and they're not good comedians, so the shock doesn't work.
Yep.
So we watched the episode of Kill Tony where Shane dressed up as Trump and Adam Ray dressed up as Joe Biden, and that was awesome.
That was a good episode.
Every minute, that was incredible. That was really, really good. But yeah, so like I said, we have some quizzes to hit Dad with, and I did not really prepare that much for the episode with Dad. I prepared for it for myself, but then I forgot Dad was coming down, so now we're just gonna do a little translating.
I was hoping you'd finish that.
That's a hard one to stutter on for sure. Yeah, we're gonna do a little trans. There's a couple words that there's a couple words I'll stutter on that kind of get me in the penalty box. There's a horrible, function, transition. There's a couple. I've definitely been assert. You know, there's definitely a couple that kind of put me in the end zone. This first test I have for you, Dad. Most Americans are so bad at basic geography, I doubt they can get half of these questions right. All right, I've got some.
I hope the answers are just northeast, south, and west.
Yeah. So for those of y'all watching the video, I've got the quizzes up on the screen, and Dad can also see the screen and his choice answers. Go ahead, Dad. Which country is this flag?
Isn't that Germany?
Okay. Nice. Which of these countries has the highest population? United States, China, or India?
China.
Right. What's the name of this ocean? Is it the Arctic, Atlantic, Pacific, or Indian? Think about this. Think about the demographic of fish that reside in this ocean and which political party they tend to vote for.
What is it? Indian?
Very nice.
But how does that have anything to do?
What is the highest point on Earth? K2, which is a daily vitamin, Mount Everest, Denali, or Eric's basement?
Everest.
Correct. What is the longest river in the world? The Nile, the Amazon, or the Mississippi?
Amazon.
It's the Nile. Man, you're stupid. How many continents are there? 5, 6, or 7?
7.
Correct. What country is Machu Picchu located in? Is it Chile, Peru, Nicaragua, or Bolivia? Machu Picchu.
West.
West is not is not one of the available answers.
Say them again.
Which country is Machu Picchu located in? Chile, Peru, Nicaragua, or Bolivia?
They all sound familiar.
I know all of them, but
yeah.
Does each country
Bolivia?
have their own Machu Picchu?
And-
I obviously know this answer.
Yeah.
I just want to see if you know it.
Dang it. Because I travel so much.
Oh, yeah, you're Mr. Worldwide, they call you.
I don't think it's Chile.
Okay.
And you hear Machu Picchu all the time, and
how often do you hear Machu Picchu coming up in conversations? And
there are weather reports
in Midwest Illinois. Machu Picchu is a hot button topic.
Bolivia,
Peru. Oh, which of these countries is not in Europe? Portugal, Estonia, Monaco, or Lebanon?
Repeat, please.
Which of these countries is not in
repeated.
Europe? Portugal, Estonia, Monaco, or Lebanon? I actually know the answer.
Man, that one's definitely a stumper for me. If I didn't know where Machu Picchu was.
I will give you a hint. This country speaks Spanish.
So then it's not Portuguese and it's not Lebanon. What's the other two?
Monaco and Estonia.
Monaco.
Oh, Lebanon. We were both wrong.
What?
I thought Portugal was in South America. All right, we have the world's shittiest Rorschach test. One side of it. What country is this? Argentina, India, Pakistan, or Brazil? Incorrect. It's India. Brazil does not have this little skin tag on the right side.
Oh, so all of it's like it except for one dot.
Yeah. Is Japan above or below the equator?
Above.
Correct. What is the name of the circled island? The United Kingdom, Ireland, Great Britain, or Iceland? Great Britain. Iceland is massive and is in the shape of a spleen. What's the capital of Canada? Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, or Edmonton? And an additional question, which of these have a stupid name? All of them. And which streaming service has plans starting at $9.99 a month. Is it Max, or BuzzFeed?
Is it Montreal?
Incorrect. It is Ottawa. Is the prime meridian a latitudinal line or a longitudinal line? I got excited. I thought we were talking about Transformers for a second, but we are not.
Prime meridian.
And where can you watch where can you watch Game of Thrones now? For those of you listening on the audio, there are a lot of ads on the screen.
Well, it's a 50-50 shot, so I'm going to go long.
Attaboy. How many countries are in North America? That's a gap of
2 or 28.
Yeah.
I can't see the numbers from here, but
3, 1, 23, or 32.
Wow,
we got quite the census going on here. North America. Come on.
I want to say 23.
Wrong. It is 3. Damn it! Wait, which countries?
Dude, that is more than 3.
And don't watch my IQ video. Wait, America,
United States, Canada,
and
Mexico, and then it
all of the freaking
down
all
in the bottom
islands.
and island.
Damn it! I was thinking about Central America. Central America. That's
All right, next.
Central America. Wait, what's Central America? Central America is not a country, and it's not. It's also
The
not
center location of America.
Central America part of North America? There's North America and South America, but Central America is all of those island nations.
I think the water is starting to get above the knee here for you.
So Central America is part of North America? Because Central America is a real thing, Dad, right? Yeah.
Next.
Damn it. I'm going to say we are both wrong. What is the capital of Romania? Budapest? Budapest? Bucharest? Or Bukovina? This rolls off the tongue.
Bukovina.
Obviously it is the third brother, Bucharest. True or false? Tasmania is a part of Australia.
Yes. True.
Attaboy. Which of these countries is Mount Everest located in?
Tell them to me.
Oh, Bangladesh, India, or Nepal?
Nepal.
Attaboy. Which country does not border Afghanistan? Iran, Iraq, or Pakistan?
Iraq.
Correct. Which is the most populous country in Africa? Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, or Ethiopia?
Nigeria.
Correct.
I knew it.
Where is the deepest point in the ocean?
The bottom.
Attaboy, Marianas Trench.
I was just making a joke.
Wait. Let's see. You scored. If I was like, for a second, it wasn't giving me like a final thing. And I was gonna be like, well, that sucked. Most Americans are so blah, blah, blah. You scored better than 45% of all the other quiz takers. You did fantastic. Well done. Your brain must be big, really big. How do you feel?
I feel incredible.
You feel great, I bet.
I'm freaking genius.
Now that was that one was meant to be treated as more of a warm-up quiz, but because I do have
the warm-up was like a half hour long.
Yep, thank you, Dad. That is exactly what I didn't know was going to happen. But I do have one that might actually stay in the episode. The next quiz Dad is going to take is go on a fall date, and I'll tell you who your celebrity boyfriend is. Are you ready to find out? Are you ready to find out who your celebrity boyfriend is here on the Something Cafe podcast? On your way to your first date activity, stop and get a fall drink. A pumpkin spice latte,
Beer.
almond spice latte, iced pumpkin cream chai, or pumpkin cream cold brew.
I guess pumpkin cream cold brew is the closest thing to beer.
Pick a fall activity to do on your date. Carving pumpkins, fall festival, corn maze, or apple picking.
Pumpkin carving.
Pick where you'll eat lunch on your date. A park picnic, a fancy restaurant, grabbing festival food, or a Friendsgiving gathering.
Festival food.
Attaboy. What will you eat at the festival? Will it be festival fancy fish dish, festival turkey dinner, festival funnel cake, or festival charcuterie?
It's hard to pass up a funnel cake.
Mm-hmm. Amen. You wouldn't be American if you didn't. What will you drink? Champagne, water, soda, or wine? At the festival, the same cart that's selling the funnel cake is also selling champagne.
Yeah. So steer clear of that. And
Yeah, that is it, which is also
pop.
Which is also Drano. Yeah. Which fall activity will you do together after you eat? Drive around and look at foliage, which I know. I mean, you're a slut for foliage.
I do like me some leaves.
Make caramel apples. Go to a drive-in movies. Visit a wine vineyard. I don't know why I turned to German there, but is it a wine vineyard?
I don't know. The leaves are good.
Yeah, leaves are good. What are your evening plans? Bonfire and hot cocoa? Football game? Let's go ahead and click that.
Yeah.
And look at what we're wearing. How does the date end? Going out for ice cream, going home and going to bed, going on a walk, or talking on the porch?
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dad, look how lucky you are. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I know you're a huge ATJ fan. You call him ATJ. That's just how much you know him. Your celebrity boyfriend is Aaron Taylor Johnson. He'll always be down to grab PSLs. Is that an acronym for his boyfriend? Or what? What's a PSL? And go apple picking together. How fun is that?
Yeah, I was lost at Aaron.
Aaron, what's the football player's name?
Rodgers?
Forget about Aaron Taylor Johnson. Today, your celebrity boyfriend is Aaron Rodgers. How does that sound?
That would not work.
Why?
He was a Packer forever.
I wonder if Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Who is this?
Aaron Tayller Johnson. I bet he hates the Packers, so he would be perfect. And I've never heard of this man in my life. To be completely honest with you.
What's he play in, or what is he?
Let's see.
What is his?
Oh, Dad, he's right up your alley. He's a British actor known for his versatile roles in both indie films and major blockbusters. He's on your.
Still
actually
don't know who that is.
playing the title role in Kick-Ass and the sequel, and Nowhere Boy. You love Nowhere Boy. All right, I'm gonna snipe him from under the table. There you go. Did not get the camera. Larry's trying to get in on this shot.
Come here, Larry.
Beyond acting, he is married to Sam Taylor John. Oh, damn it, Dad.
So he would like the Packers.
Oh man. Well, as exhilarating as those quizzes were, or as exhilarating as I thought they were going to be, oh man.
So you made me feel dumb, and then made me feel
gay.
like a gay dude.
Yeah. We're also gonna hold on. Is Central America
a real thing?
It is a real thing. Yes, Central America. Damn it. Yes, Central America is technically part of North America geographically. North America consists of 3 main regions: North America, the Caribbean, and Central America. Well, that's stupid. Damn it, Dad. So while Central America is often referred, you are in trouble. So while Central America is often referred to as its own region, it is still considered a part of the North American continent.
America.
Hit me off. All right. I have some stuff for us later. Some Am I the Assholes for us later. But now I'm trying to, because you haven't seen the last episode, and I was going to talk to you about some stuff about the last episode. But have you seen the Minecraft movie trailer?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Thoughts?
Horrible.
Ass? Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking. I seriously don't know what they're thinking, and we're gonna have another Borderlands incident.
Never in my life did I ever think Jason Momoa would be Minecraft.
And if he was going to be in Minecraft, he would be playing Steve, the main character, and be cool. You know, like they could have done something cool where, like, because Minecraft, like, if you do like
Sorry, Jason Momoa is basically, in a typecast situation where he always plays just the big kick-ass guy out doing stuff. Wielding swords or whatever, and
this
then
movie, he's wearing
you're
a pink
in
sweatshirt.
A video game.
He's wearing a pink zip up and has 3-foot long hair. I mean, it's because if you do live action Minecraft, you can make it really like scary and full of action. Like in the actual video game, there are zombies and exploding spiders, and that you
Who's directing this?
And you go to hell. Like,
who's directing the film?
Let's see.
I mean, if it was like an MCU developed movie, it might have a chance, but
the upcoming Minecraft by Jared Hess, and
what's he credited for?
He is credited for Napoleon Dynamite. He directed Napoleon Dynamite, which we liked, but not
as that kind
not
of
again
movie. Yeah,
yeah, it's that's an odd one. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It basically nobody else was picking
stupid.
it up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll do it. I need something to do."
But yeah, so because you could have had Jason Momoa be a really cool Steve, because Steve doesn't have to be this stupid, goofy character. Like, you could make a cool Steve and make it fun. Also, why did it have to be live action? It could have been animated. Everything else about the movie's animated. We just had the Mario movie. All of that was animated. Why couldn't we have had this one animated?
I honestly, unless you can tell me something different, I have yet to like any of the live action stuff.
For video game
that should
adaptations
should have been
name some.
I know people will probably shoot me, but The Lion King.
Oh, no. The public census on that is that it is bad.
I think Mom liked it.
Mom likes anything.
See, I fell asleep through most of them, so that tells you. Didn't we watch Aladdin?
Aladdin was all right.
But I fell asleep.
Aladdin was all right. Aladdin.
Fell asleep in Lion King. Live action.
You fall asleep in every movie. Don't use that as an example. We watched the Batman and you're asleep in the last hour.
But I've seen it.
True. Aladdin is...
And it was like late night.
True. Aladdin was fine. It was fine. Will Smith did fine. The main actor did horrible. Everyone else did good. But the main guy who's playing Aladdin was butt cheeks. He was not good. The music was great.
Beauty and the Beast.
I saw that one, I think.
Yeah.
Very forgettable. I mean, it's the same
Honestly,
story. They're not changing the story.
Actually, of all of them, I think I probably like that one out of all of the live
Beauty
action.
of the Beast one?
Out of the live action stuff.
I mean, I guess I can't really remember it. No one remembers every single Peter Pan adaptation has fallen flat on its face. Do you know how many live action Peter Pan movies have come out? And does anyone remember any of them? No.
Maybe no and no.
Pan, Hook, like there's another one, and I'm pretty sure
Hook
both of those
good.
had sequels.
At the time, Hook was good.
Hook was good?
Because, it had Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams.
Didn't they also, wasn't there a scene where they were singing a Nirvana song? Smells Like Teen Spirit? Hello. That Smells Like Teen Spirit? And the night song, better give me, better go so, better fake it, better feel
well, that's not a Nirvana song. It resembles a Nirvana song.
There was a scene in Hook where he had all of his pirate crew and they were all singing it without any instruments. It was actually a pretty awesome scene.
We got to look that up because I feel like Hook was even like before Nirvana.
No. Whoa. Nirvana was like in the 90s or 80s, right? Hook came
early
out
90s.
Hook came out like 2012.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. There was a Hook that came out like.
Is it a newer Hook?
I guess so. I probably then, because this was like
I gotta check that out.
2000. Yeah, this was like 2000, like 12 or 14 or something like that. Yeah,
That's not the Hook I'm thinking of.
That's not my Hook.
That's not my Hook.
That's not my president. Yee. Damn it! Why do the gays got a flag? They ain't even a country. Yee. Damn it!
Yeah, Hook 91.
Okay, and then
Nirvana was 92 or 3.
Okay,
I'm
telling you, there's a Hook, or maybe it was called something else, but it was Captain. Damn it! It was Captain Hook, Dad.
Pan Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Damn it! There you go. There you go.
Wow, I don't remember
I knew
that.
And it came out in 2015.
No.
Yes. Are you referring to Pan?
Okay. Smells like. I'm talking about Hook. Yeah, this came up with Pan in 2015. I'm still right.
But I knew. Okay, no, you're not, because I knew that there was a Peter Pan film. Hook, Peter Pan
film, but not Hook.
Same characters. Tony Stark, Iron Man, Avengers.
No.
Still Robert Downey Jr. I knew there was one that they have this awesome scene where
a different version.
What?
It's a different version. it's a completely different. I mean,
But-
yes, it's about Peter Pan, but the movie is Hook.
But that's what I'm saying is there have been so many live actions of Peter Pan from that story that no one remembers other than the cool scene where they sing the
Apparently with
the Nirvana
song.
Yeah. Like there's been no like what else has been live action? I mean, they did Nintendo did a live action Mario movie back in like the 80s or 90s. But I remember that was creepy because like the turtles were way too realistic looking and stuff, and Mario sounded like an actual plumber.
Oh, I forgot about Ninja Turtles.
Oh, and then you also had the Ninja Turtles. Those are weird, man.
Well, they actually came out at the same time, 91.
Those are weird, man. When
I never
those
associated Nirvana and
those costumes for the Ninja Turtles, where the mouth never moved, but you could see the dude's mouth in there.
Yeah, but
man.
little kids
Dude,
love that.
Pizza, dude. Yeah. Oh,
there's
man.
a certain age group that loved them. But
And I remember there's a fact where it's like there was a sequel of the older live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and for some reason they couldn't use weapons, so all of the turtles had their weapons on them, but they never took it from their back because the FCC or something or whatever's in charge of like rating movies or whatever. So the whole movie, the turtles have like Raphael has his size on his side.
Who was it?
Raphael.
What's
What's his name?
Raphael?
Saying shit. He's got his size on his side and like freaking what's the orange bandana?
I don't remember the exact colors. I just remembered
nunchucks.
Donatello.
Donatello was bow staff. Leonardo was sword. Michelangelo was nunchucks. So they had the weapons all to their sides, but this sequel they weren't allowed to actually use them, so they would be like in a fight and take.
Is it just so that it wouldn't go up another rating?
I guess so, because
to keep it into the kid zone, they had to. But as soon as they pulled it out, it became rated R. And
during the fights, they had to like grab like cans of whipped cream on the table,
pizza box, and throw crust in their face.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's those were weird, but then they came out with the new ones that were still live action. I mean, the turtles were CGI and they looked pretty good, but I never watched that one.
I guess you got to look at the expectation of are you going to get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to compete against Iron Man and
Iron Man
MCU? No, they're that whole thing was a cartoon. Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing.
So, okay. So, what do you think about this new Transformer movie that's coming out and it's animated? Have you seen any?
Not a big fan of it that I've seen so far.
Yeah, I've only seen one funny scene
because I grew up with the real Transformers.
Correct.
But
the real ones were cartoons.
The real cartoon,
and
then with the real Transformers,
and then Michael Bay. It's pretty awesome,
then
right?
the Michael Bay ones, and I like those.
Those were cool. How they CGI'd and made all the transforming look super industrial and cool, and like this in the scale of how big they were. That was awesome.
And that was some of the very, I guess, early on quality CGI.
Yeah.
When you think about of movies.
I mean, what would have been before that? That would be CGI heavy, or was there really any?
Well, there've been several other movies that had CGI, but just not even like Star Wars,
like the Flintstones movie.
No,
with Dino.
I never watched that. I never saw anything of that. But I'm just saying, with some of the the newer Star Wars CGI was even, questionable.
Did Star Wars use CGI?
Yeah.
The first ones?
Not the first ones.
There you go.
I said the second ones use CGI.
Was that Rey and all that?
No. This would be
I don't know I don't know the Star Wars timeline.
Jar Jar Binks.
That was bad.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta say. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks.
And the fish people.
Yes. See that's all CGI.
And I love that.
I mean, and at the time,
that's what it takes for me to remember those movies. Is like what made it bad.
But you were the chosen one.
Me. Misa vote for Donald Trump.
Misa chica Misa.
Misa skip the joints. Yeah, no, that was bad. It sounded like that episode of SpongeBob where like.
Anyway, at the time, it was
a Jurassic Park reference.
It was better, but not. It just wasn't that quality until, to me, with Michael Bay, that CGI,
freaking awesome,
where the actor being Optimus Prime and all the Transformers were put on screen by a computer.
Yeah, like what I do like. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. You are the biggest Star Wars fan. But
Star Wars. Zane is a bigger Star Wars.
You're up there. What I do like about the very first movies though is that nothing was CGI. Same thing of how they made the first couple Godzilla movies where the town there's an actual term there's a term for it. There's an actual
microsizing
cinematic. Is that what it is?
I don't
know, but they will make a town.
Yeah, make a town that's 2 inches tall.
Then the camera would zoom,
and a dude would put on a costume.
Awesome, yeah. And they would do that with a lot of the Star Wars, a lot of the planets and stuff. George Lucas actually just had this 8th grade science project hanging up, and they would shoot it like that. I mean, I thought it was cool. What's the big pit with the
Sarlacc?
Yeah, like that. Like that wasn't CGI, but I'm guessing
that was full scale.
Yeah,
That wasn't
freaking awesome.
Minied down. But all the battle scenes on the Star Destroyers and things like that were battleship models all glued together.
Even the shots of the Death Star was an actual Death Star in front of some black construction paper.
Yeah.
Like, freaking awesome. Now, you had the lasers, which would have had to be in post, right?
It was post,
you would have to have that in post.
It wasn't CGI. They took a marker and scribbled.
Yeah, like when they did the green.
Yeah,
the the pentagon of the Death Star. You had the big monster in the jail. What was that one? The big monster in the jail where they
name
put Luke.
Slips my mind.
Like again, but do you think that
was a claymation?
Real scale?
That was claymation.
That's freaking awesome. Like that is cool. That is cool. Speaking of claymation, the best claymation.
Fabulous Mr. Fox. Fantastic Mr. Fox. My bad.
Goodness. Good. I forget that George Clooney was the one that played Fox.
Oh, there is a huge cast in that.
I know, but like
Clooney.
I never knew that.
Owen Wilson.
And
Bill Murray.
Then I watched some behind the scenes because I don't know, for some reason my whole life watching that movie being our favorite movie and no one else I knew knowing about it. Then I learned that it was freaking George Clooney. I'm like, what the heck? George Clooney.
What the cuss?
Yeah. Are you cussing me? No, I'm not cussing you. I think I think
you're cussing me.
Cussing me. Yeah.
That was good.
That movie's so good. That movie's so good. I know. I don't know about you, but as I'm listening to my podcasts in between episodes, Spotify will put their own ads for stuff, and the only ad I've been getting is this really this stupid millennial humor ad of this new movie that George Clooney and Brad Pitt are in together. And I don't know about you, but it just feels they are trying so hard. Like,
what
this,
is it?
it's called Wolves. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it, but all the ad is, and I'm not paraphrasing. It's doing the stupid quiche humor where it's like, if you want to see Brad Pitt and George Clooney in their new movie, blah 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 blah, and then it would be a couple lines from the movie. Then the narrator would go, and if you also want to see Brad Pitt and George Clooney in a new movie, and it's like, I get the joke that they're going for. They keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's like, dude, you're not gonna do Oceans again. Stop.
Oceans was a one-time thing.
Oh my
gosh. It was a great version of it.
They are both great, but this ad failed because all I learned nothing about the movie. Literally nothing. All I know is George Clooney and Brad Pitt are in another high stakes movie. I don't know what it's about. I only know some lines from it now, and they're not funny. Like, Oceans is not happening again.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. That's the only reason. George Clooney and Brad Pitt are in another movie. That's literally word for word what the ad said. Like, they're trying to be funny by being too aware. Like,
and not saying what it is.
I have no idea. Yeah. But Brad Pitt and George Clooney.
Worse than a medicine commercial.
Yeah. If you or a loved one has been infected by Brad Pitt and George Clooney's new shitty movie, then call this phone number.
No, it's whatever name, blah, 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 and it's like, but it could cause explosive bowel movement.
Yeah. This propofol antidepressant for the future. Side effects include wanting to.
No, but they don't even do that. It just shows a picture of some people sitting on a beach.
Side effects include wanting to wrap your car around a tree going 130 miles per hour. It's like, oh, it's like, dude. And then it shows like a dad pushing his kid on the swing set, and then it'll cut back. More of the side effects is your brain's blood boiling to a temperature that humans were not meant to understand.
There's been SNL skits on the different drug.
I mean, we just watched an SNL skit that did the same thing, but with the DraftKings thing, where all of DraftKings and Prize Picks, all of these sports betting apps, which
that's getting out of control.
Let me ask you. Again, we're the football family. I am not.
ILL.
There you go. But
I.
And you and Mom.
What?
Every time you say ILL to me, I have not lived at home for 4 years. Why do you expect me to know what the hell to say?
That maybe you would learn about it and show some interest in the family.
Sent
your brother.
I sent Declan a birthday present when he didn't send me one.
Oh,
so I've got some interest.
Snap.
But what do you think of Prize Picks and DraftKings and all of sports betting right on your phone? And as you're at these games, do you ever see anything of it around other people?
Honestly, I've never seen anybody doing it, but I'm not interested in any of it.
College football does.
It's all over.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
I mean, it's available, but I don't see anybody doing it. But it's just advertised so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like almost every episode of a podcast. Like, I know one of my other podcasts that I listen to, it's a joke within the podcast.
It's just such a simple, easy revenue stream.
Oh yeah.
And
that was the joke that SNL did.
Betting
is like,
on your friend that's going to go busted and lose his life and
it starts
house
off
and car and family.
It starts off normal, it's like, oh, welcome to Prize Picks, blah blah blah, and then it cuts to like somber music to be like, we understand that gambling is a serious problem. If you have anyone affected by this, go ahead and place your bets on when he'll off himself. He does. It's a great skit.
There's a short in this chord.
A what?
A short.
What does that mean?
I lose the left ear periodically.
I've never.
As soon as it wiggled it, your knee or whatever. Get it?
I use those headphones every time I DJ. I've never ran into that. Maybe you broke it.
You saw how violent I've been in this chair.
I've been having to. I'm gonna have to strap you down.
Restraints on me for the podcast.
Vibrating. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, I've never. I mean, I don't even know how I'd even gain the interest of betting on sports, given I don't care about sports in the first place. But yeah, it's nothing I've ever.
I don't have enough money to start with. Yeah. Why am I going to start betting on things?
Because you could take the money that you don't have now and make double it, and then you would have the money to bet again and make triple the money. Yeah, no, it's an interesting topic. I don't really have any friends that partake in it either, but there's ads for it, like everyone, like people's nieces are into it. But yeah, it's not the biggest fan of any of any of that. But so the last part of the show that we always do is we go through some Am I the Asshole prompts, and we've got our first guest who gets to partake in this segment. And
I will go and say I've never been crazy of the title, how they turned into that.
What?
I am a butthole.
Yeah, but it does well on social media. So I go through these and I don't have any prepared. We read the titles and we get into it. This is Am I the Asshole? We have some prompts to go through and here on the Something Cafe podcast, and we will have the guest today be the final decider on are they the asshole or are they not? So let's go through some titles, and you will be the one who will say yes, and we'll read that one. No is skip. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding dress after she made fun of my body? Skip or dig in?
Skip.
Am I the asshole for refusing to wear what my mom spent 8 hours sewing for me?
We might be interested.
We can skip that one and just say that you are the asshole.
Well, yeah.
Unless it has a swastika on it.
I guess it needs some content to know.
There we go. My 22 female first Comic-Con is tomorrow. You already know we are dealing with something special here.
Yes, we are.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. My 22 female. So we have a 22-year-old female. First Comic-Con is tomorrow, and I had planned to wear a bodysuit version of the Fallout jumpsuit with some jeans. While I wanted to rep my favorite game, I wasn't quite confident enough to go all out with the full suit. I decided this might be a fun opportunity to learn how to sew, so I spent roughly 20 hours and $60 on fabric, patterns, materials, and the bodysuit only end up getting halfway. I decided to ask my mom for advice since she sews professionally, and it was only 3 days away from the con. We agreed in trade for doing some work for her. She said she would make the suit for me. I showed her the jumpsuit, my materials, and shared my vision of it being a bodysuit instead. She told me that I was she told me that I was struggling because of the fabric I picked wasn't right. Therefore, she was going to pick up some new blue stretchy material and use the other things I bought to assemble the suit. Today, I learned instead of making the suit, she has spent 8 hours making a glittery rainbow full jumpsuit since they were out of stock of blue fabric. She suggested I could be a lizard lady or or equivalent instead. So this already has nothing to do with Fallout. I've played every Fallout game.
So
there are no lizard ladies. While I appreciate her effort, I'm pretty devastated about not being able to be in my planned outfit since I only wanted to dress up since I loved the game. I have now refused to wear the outfit, and she is really disappointed her hard work is going to waste. So I just want to know, am I the asshole for being upset and not wearing the outfit which took her eight hours? She added an edit later, but I don't care about that. Let's just go off of this. So
does she live with her?
No context.
No context.
But I mean, Declan doesn't live with you guys, but he could ask mom to do something for her.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you say, "Oh, thanks, mom," and you take it home, and you just don't mention it again.
Yeah, but she was banking off of this because the day that the mom handed her the sparkly suit was the day before Comic-Con. She has no time now.
See, so family things are tough because
you trusted her.
But you also, like, a kid will rip into a parent quicker than they would a stranger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So there's that level of expectation that maybe sometimes is more that they expected this to be done with what they're exactly thinking, and though you may not have conveyed it all, and then that's like
you are correct on that, but
to change the fabric, and
I'm assuming this girl at least gave her a photo of what it's supposed to look like.
And that's where,
given that she was already making her own,
the mom should have called and said, "Hey, I can't find any of this blue material, but I found rainbow. Will that work?"
Because there are other colored jumpsuits in the game. There's other costumes you can do in the game, and it's also not a hard jumpsuit. You've seen the posters for the show.
Yeah,
it's just a blue jumpsuit.
You're also asking somebody to sew something that knows nothing about
the
thing, and the mom was doing everything she could to be able to get a costume for her to wear.
Now,
yes. So that's
just,
a tough one.
I just, I don't know what the lizard lady has to do. That is exactly what she wrote. She suggested I could be a lizard lady. There is no lizard lady in Fallout, and there are also no rainbow fabric. And like throughout every game, I have not seen a single piece of clothing that had rainbow on it. And
she also brought it to her mom, like, what, 3 days before?
Yeah. I think I think both of them are.
To me, that's a 50-50.
Because on one, I don't know, because on one hand, the daughter, it doesn't sound like it was going to be the end of the world if the mom just said right away, like, no, I don't know if I can. I mean, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because yeah, she was already running out of time, but it also sounded like she had her own kind of plan going on, and was just kind of like, hey mom, can you do this in 3 days? Oh sure, cool. And if she said no, I'm assuming she would have been like, oh okay, and then kept doing her thing,
asking people for favors.
Yeah,
and then it not being all that you ever wanted it to be.
Just do it yourself.
You should have done it yourself. You should have started sooner.
Oh yeah, I think that's. I think that. I don't think she's an asshole for that, but I think. I don't know.
I think she is with an asterisk.
Yeah. Asterisk asshole.
There.
Stamp. Nice.
TM.
Okay. All right. Let's keep. Oh, look at this ad for thicker, fuller hair. Am I the asshole for refusing to offer any help to my uncle and cousins with the family business? That sounds boring. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother's fiance wear my late mother's wedding dress? Goodness, that just doesn't sound right.
Said not.
Am I the asshole for
refusing to
refusing to let my brother's fiance wear my late mother's wedding dress?
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Ever.
Yeah.
Your mom's dead. Don't let. Yeah, no. Yeah. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister-in-law throw away. Goodness.
To throw away the wedding dress?
Am I the asshole for not letting my sister-in-law throw a surprise party at my house? Boring. Am I the asshole for not donating old toys to my ex's children?
Oh, that might be good.
Let's check it out. I, 34-year-old female, have 2 kids with my ex, 13 years old and 12 years old. That's the kid's age, not the ex's age. Our divorce happened 6 years ago. He's married again and has additional children. We are not on good terms. We communicate via app. Well, there's a lot of apps. I'm guessing it WhatsApp.
Text doesn't work?
Sure, via text about our kids, and that's the only contact we should have and that I respond to. Unless it's an emergency, then we can text/call if needed. The reason for the bad blood is he cheated on me with the woman he's now married to. And then during our divorce, she accused me of breaking into her house and stealing from them. Their house was broken into, but his wife said it had to be me. She even started hinting about it online and telling other people. I didn't do it, and it was proven. Police even caught the person who did it, but my ex and her still tried to use that as a reason for him to get full custody of our kids. It didn't work, but they still tried. So we're not on good terms, and that's not something I feel will ever change. It's a struggle to be civil, but I do it for the kids' sake. I hate the 2 of them, though, and think they're both shitty people. Taking it healthy. Last year, they had a micro preemie. What? Last year, they had a micro preemie, which is their child together.
Preemie before preemie. Born very early.
Oh, a micro preemie, which is their 3rd child together. She also has a child with someone else after. They are.
Wow.
This tree's got some branches. This is.
And I think some of them are on the same buds.
After
Does it say what state?
Alabama. After the birth of their micro preemie, they started struggling with money and felt bad for the other children who live with them full time because they had to make a lot of changes apart from their kids who are living there part time. My kids had a little, but not really, because they had.
Where else would they
still
living?
have? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Are they
Are they on PRN? Are they per diem? What's going on here? We haven't even gotten to the toys yet.
All right, let's land the plane.
Recently, the kids and I did a clear out, and I donated a bunch of their old toys to a Goodwill nearby. My ex saw me with the donation, and he was pissed that I donated them to a store versus giving them to his family. He confronted me in person about this. He told me I have to know they were looking for help with toys and stuff, and I know what they've been through. He asked how I could spite his children like that. He told me they'd love to get their older siblings old toys. He confronted me a second time because he found out our eldest gave a couple of toys to a friend's younger sibling. I knew about it and didn't confirm that with him. He still guessed, and again in my face-to-face confrontation, he called me out for not donating them to him and letting them be donated elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think she is.
Not at all. This sounds like a entitled dude who is kind of dug his own hole, and even though he doesn't talk, he doesn't even they don't even talk because he cheated on her.
How would she know the full situation and
even,
if they would be interested in those toys?
And even if she did know, which it sounds like she does know, it's like, oh, that's who I'm gonna donate these toys to. The first person I think of is the ex who cheated on me and accused me of breaking into their house. That's who I'm gonna give it to, not the store.
Yeah.
Like, no, not that. There is no thought to that. Like, you are not the asshole, because this is a case where it's like one party, being her, doesn't even think about this guy, and she seems to be doing somewhat fine, and
communicate on an app.
But then the other party, him, is still stuck in this spiteful, like he said she was spiteful, but it's the opposite, because he's like, why didn't you donate them to them, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, dude, who are you again?
I'm going after custody.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what are you doing with those toys?
Yeah, no, dude.
I can't believe you're giving them to somebody else.
A quick one. Yeah. Yeah, no, that not the asshole at all. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got one more. What do we got? Am I the asshole for accidentally ruining my friend's kids' safe food? What? I'm guessing like kids were like gluten-free, but that sounds stupid. Yes, because you had gluten-free kids. Democrat. Am I the asshole for telling my dad he's the one who gave me the ultimatum, so he needs to deal with that? Sounds way too complicated. Am I the asshole for calling out my sister's weird behavior around our family regarding her OnlyFans? I don't even want to get into that, but am I the asshole for telling my mom she needs to help because I deserve a better mom? That just sounds sad. Wait, what did I say? Am I the asshole for telling my mom she needs help because I deserve... Okay, we're yeah. Am I the asshole if I refuse to stay in my mother-in-law's house till she gets the toilet fixed? Am I the asshole for asking for compassion during pregnancy sickness?
That's
Am I the asshole for giving my cousin's Marine friend what? Am I the... Oh, I thought the shrooms were Marines. I was like, what?
Water shrooms?
Am I the asshole for giving my cousin's Marine friend, shrooms after he asked me to do so, and now I might be homeless?
Just move.
Am I the asshole for getting a babysitter because my mom was keeping her home? That's not a full sentence. Am I the asshole for telling my neighbor to remove a mirror from my garden? For refusing to attend my dad's wedding because I don't like his fiance? Short one. My dad, 45 male, is getting married next month to his fiance, 39 female. He's been dating for about a year. I, 18-year-old female, don't like her at all. She's always trying too hard to be my friend, asks me a million questions about my life, and even tried to bond with me over things I don't care about. She's never done anything to hurt me or be disrespectful, but I find her annoying and fake. I told my dad I wouldn't be going to the wedding because I don't support the relationship, and he was really hurt. He's tried to get me to give her a chance, but I don't want to. Now he's saying it would be me. It would mean the world to him if I came, but I still don't feel like I should. My family thinks I'm immature and selfish. Yeah.
She's being
because
the butthole.
Because
no matter what the fiance is doing, you gotta respect your dad, and if there's nothing harmful there going on, I mean, you're not going to like hardly anybody that you're is mixed in line.
Does any divorcee kid like the next one?
Well, there are, but it's just.
But like, is it ever not awkward for even a week or two? It's just plus, yeah. She's 18. She's young. She's stupid, and yeah, like get over it. It's your dad. Like, and if this could have easily turned into
if she said she was harmful to him, she was stealing his money, wrecking things in the finances or house, or sleeping around on him. That's one thing. But just because you don't like because she's trying to be your friend and you don't like it?
And okay, that and let's say she was fine, but the dad was like, if you don't come, I'm gonna so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like the dad is even she who's writing it, who can be completely biased, even she's saying, my dad's saying it would mean the world to him.
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, not the asshole.
Butthole, go on.
Now, are you the asshole for not subscribing to the Something Cafe podcast on YouTube or following us on Spotify, rating us 5 stars for more riveting content like this? You are a little bit smarter today or dumber, depending on how you took the country quiz. And so, Dad, we're wrapping up here. Got any more things on your mind?
Oh, I was just thinking of some things that popped up when you're mowing the yard. When you mow 7 acres, you have a lot of time to think about things, and trying to think of stuff to talk about on a podcast. Obviously, I know you are the director of it, but anyway, I just thought of some weird things popped up from when you were a kid. Do you remember? I forget what age it was when you were so infatuated with the ashes and gases line from something. I forget what it was.
It wasn't from anything.
Or no, yeah, you made it. It was
my first ever joke.
Yeah.
It was my first ever joke, and I thought I came to Dad in his room. He was like, Dad was changing or something, and I was like, Dad, I got the funniest thing that you've ever heard. And Dad's like, all right, go for it. Dad's putting his pants on after farming or something, and he's all like, okay. And I said, I remember like I could not stop laughing before.
Oh yeah,
I
you were giggling the whole time. You were getting ready to say it.
I would look at him and I would go, fire and ashes, more like fire and gases.
Oh yeah,
and
because it's something to do with tooting.
Of course, yeah. It was something to do with passing gas and ashes being a part of fire and
ashes and gas.
I thought I don't know why, but I thought it was.
I mean, it was funny for.
I thought
you were what 5?
I thought it was the funniest thing, but it's a unique memory for someone to remember the first ever joke that they ever made.
Yeah,
but that was the start of the Something Cafe.
Ashes and gases.
Was ashes and or fire and ashes, more like fire and gases. And I could not stop laughing. I remember that part is when I would tell this to Dad like every day.
Oh, it went on for months.
Like as if Dad never heard it before, and I would come to him 12 hours later.
Hey, Dad. Fire and gases.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Come home from work. Hey, Dad. Fire and gases. And then that was also around the same period when we had the 55-gallon fish tank, the huge fish tank in the and we had several different fish, and that was pretty cool because I had fish, but never into the level that we had when you were with you guys having fish. And we went to the store and we got some stuff, and we were the only family to have a one-armed T-Rex. Do you remember the T-Rex that we had? So there was a T-Rex that goes into the fish tank, and it has an air hose on it, and it's supposed to bubble up and rise up and down and do its thing. And we're sitting there. We just took everything out of the sacks, and both myself and your mom was like, "Don't touch anything until your dad helps you get that open." And I got up to do something and come back, and lo and behold, you're sitting there, and we now had a one-armed T-Rex because you didn't know how to undo the twist ties in the packaging, and you just ripped it out, and it broke the arm, and it has those little pin things, whatever, the plastic that's supposed to go into the armhole. And so all our T-Rex did was just shot bubbles out of the armhole with the T-Rex. Like, it's short enough arms already. And then ours is just sitting there. It never rose. It just sits there on the bottom and with the air coming out of the armhole. And Mom was like, "We told you do not touch it until your dad helped you."
I vaguely remember a fish tank T-Rex. I think the only memory I have of, well, I have a lot of memories of the fish tank, but
Cat
Lars
is
and Larry
engaging in some kind of
doing
mischievous
something. Yeah, probably
activities,
pooping on each other. But I remember like getting fish and giving them all names, and Mom being like, "You don't have to name all of them," and I said, "No, I have to." And then, of course, after
and
I
kids
named
come
them,
up with like spectacular names.
they all, oh yeah, like,
you know,
my favorite pet in the fish tank was this cool looking shrimp.
I was thinking about that. This
And
shrimp.
I named and the absolute MCU movie name I gave him, I named the shrimp Kyle, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So I had I had Kyle the shrimp.
Didn't it get eaten by the cichlids in like 3 days?
Yeah. We had a pretty diverse fish tank for being a Midwest family with a tub of water that wasn't a horse trough.
But the pet store people that sold us this stuff should have told us that they were mean, horrible fish when we got the cichlids, because
those were the Plecostomuses?
No, they were like kind of the colorful little. They attacked all the other fish. The Plecostomus was the one that just stuck on the side.
The only fish I remember that attacked all of them was the Hitler of our fish tank, the African catfish.
No, this was that one did go after, but these cichlids they're not goldfish, but they're goldfish size, and one would be like yellow, and they kind of had like stripes on them, and then one was blue.
I remember getting one that had its eyes bulging out of its head, and I that one freaked me out.
Yeah,
that one freaked me out. But I remember we got this African catfish. I don't even know if that's what it's actually called. I feel like you and Mom just came up with that name. But it was this like pyramid. It had the body of a pyramid. Like, it was like really thick at the bottom.
I think it really
came
was.
Up at the top.
And we got a really good deal on it from the dude, because basically they wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, we
now know why.
You wonder why. We had apparently this magical coupon. You know, we got this African catfish, and Declan and I were stoked because it's like the most exotic fish we had in our tank. Come the next day, it turned out to be the only fish in our tank, because it genuinely Hitlered our entire fish tank. I'm not kidding. Every fish that wasn't that.
Like,
every fish that was less than 3/4 of its size was. I'm not saying dead, gone, like evaporated. Dad and I were just talking about a lot of stuff. You guys heard us talk about. What were we talking about? Fish.
We just finished talking about the fish and the African.
You guys have no idea what's going on over here.
The African catfish
killed everything. The snails. The snails are cool.
Snails.
I liked the snails.
And like all of a sudden they just disappear.
Because the snails, they didn't move a lot, but when they did move, it was cool because they would be on the glass. So it's kind of like looking at Stingray from underneath. Like, you get to see like everything going on, right? But what would happen is Declan and I would get home from school, or we would wake up to get ready for school, and I'm not kidding, floating.
There'd be like just a graveyard of shells
are floating on top, like trying to go into the water filter, but are too big, you know?
That's right.
Like floating like bobbers. And me and Declan would be like, why are the shells floating? African catfish ate all of them. So sooner or later, the African catfish would always like sleep or chill in this one spot, and it chilled in this one spot for a particularly long time, and we got curious. And I don't know if you remember this, but this is how I remember it. It was like in the back right corner on the floor of the rocks, and it was there for a good couple of days. And you and I, because I was older than Declan, obviously, and you trusted me more to handle with some of the grosser things.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, "Hey, Bubba, help me pick up like the wardrobe thing that the fish tank's on and turn it so we can see him." And you and I pick it up and we twist it and we get a view from behind, and that side of the catfish was rotted.
Oh, really?
And like gutted, like rib cage and all.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but I do remember it. It was another buffet for the cats out in the barnyard.
Yes, it was. Yeah, no, yeah, but yeah, like we turned it because you and I were we were like, why hasn't it moved? And we turn it, and you look on the side that you can't see, and that whole side, it was like the door of Bilbo's house. Like it was just all rotted and gutted. So that's when Dad put on a pair of long cow butt gloves and picked it up, and then we probably had the net. We live on a farm, and we had a lot of we don't have any. We have outside cats, but we don't have.
We used to have an enormous amount.
We used to have like upwards of in the 20s. And Dad would go get it, and all of the cats would come running up, and Dad would just launch the fish. PETA, close your ears, and the cats would just go crazy.
Was because the fish tank was before snake tank, right?
Was it?
Because then
I thought the snake tank was before the fish tank. Because the snake tank, we had Lucy. We had a ball python. Boa constrictor. We had a ball python. We had Lucy when I was in second grade.
You guys were little too with the fish.
Miss W's cat class.
Were they at the same time frame?
Maybe
so the point is,
we also had a ball python.
We'd feed the snake mice like a couple times a month, and we would get 2 to 3 mice.
We would go to Petco as the snake's drive-through,
and so we had a feeding cage for it. So we'd always take it out to feed it in the cage, and sometimes it would only eat 2, so we'd have a third one. So that would become like we played gladiator out in the barnyard with all the cats and drop it in the middle and see which cat would go after it. And then it was just fun to watch them in the wild. Yeah, with the mice. So I did the same thing with the. So similar situation. African catfish went to the cats. Had a big buffet for whoever got it that day.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's man, the outside cats, the snake. We kind of had a little Midwest zoo going on.
Yep. And that was something that your mom was very good at making sure we'd experience things, and because I would never have considered getting a snake.
Well, it was also like brought onto us because of McCabe.
Correct. But because but mom had a snake when she was in college, so when how mom can fill in better, but talking about it, and it's like, oh well, we could watch it because he couldn't keep it in his apartment.
Yeah.
And so that's how we came about with the snake. But the fish, we started obviously a small tank and then got bigger, and then I think it was some kind of a classified ad that people had a big 55-gallon for sale that we picked up for you guys.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. I love the fish tank, and we had a lot of cool
I liked it,
fish.
but it was a lot of work to keep clean.
And
it definitely had a funk to it.
Yeah.
But so I started out talking about things I think about when mowing, and there's one thing that every time I mow, like I said, we have 7 acres of grass to mow, and with a farm, it was originally cattle and animal farm, and you have water going out to several different points of the barnyard, and there's a water line that runs over to the house yard and has a spigot that is out of the ground to be able to at the time it was where there was chickens. So anyway, fast forward, we're living there, and it's now just a water hydrant out in the grass. And I'm mowing and I'm not paying attention, and all of a sudden I notice, why is the water hydrant bent? And normally it just sticks up out of the ground, and you go move the handle, and now it is at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Bent, and I'm like, did I catch it with the mower?
You would have felt that, yeah.
And I'm like, no. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. So get done mowing, and then we have a golf cart on the farm. And I remember when using it to go take trash from the house down to the dumpster, I noticed like the seat was like funky on it. And I was like, wait, I just started putting 2 and 2 together. And I was like, all right, Celestino. I'm like, you got to tell me. I'm like, did you do something to the golf cart? No. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, it's beyond getting in trouble. I just want to know what happened to the golf cart.
I genuinely...
And like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, we're playing this game now.
I seriously didn't know.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I know. I'm like, I've figured out everything that you guys have done here. You cannot get away with anything because I've either done it or I know how those things add up because I can put 2 and 2 together. So some time went by, and I'm like, and I'm getting blamed for this shit. I'm like, Dad's like, I know you bent it. I'm like, I didn't. Okay, so maybe you didn't do it directly, but maybe indirectly, your friends that were here did it.
There you go.
And so at some point, who tattled, and Declan came clean about you guys hit it. And what happened is that
did he know who hit it?
I'm assuming it was Mr. E.
I think that's incorrect. I think I know who did it. It was AK.
Obviously, your friend. I mean, there's nobody else driving the golf cart.
But this was a unique circumstance where where I had nothing to do with it, and it's like, all right, Celestino, come clean. It's like I don't know what.
But
you're
because
talking
it's
about.
your friends, you are responsible because you let your friends drive the golf cart. And
far be it from me, the kids who grew up in the Midwest couldn't drive a golf cart. And
I will say, I mean,
I was also 12.
Yeah, but for the sake that, I mean, it did have headlights, but the water spigot was out in the yard, and then basically they were driving. And what I was laughing at more than being mad, just for the fact I'm picturing you guys or them, riding on it, and the water spigot is 3.5 feet sticking out of the ground, and them hitting that, and it had to have launched them. I mean,
I don't know how because the golf cart wasn't damaged.
Well, the back seat was loose, but yeah, it obviously
the front wasn't cracked in half.
But it didn't hit straight on. It basically hit like this here, and just like ramped it, and bent it over like a little flagpole.
Yeah,
but it still had to have like upset the cart. And
oh yeah.
I was like,
I have no. I would have.
I just wanted to hear the story about it because, like, we're driving all of a sudden.
I would have too.
And flip the golf cart.
I didn't even hear it from my friends who did it. I heard it. I think it was also Declan who told me. He was like, "Yeah, it was your friend." So I'm like, "What? Why am I the last one who knows about this?" Yeah,
well, they probably didn't want to tell you if you weren't around. Like I wasn't probably at the fire pit, and they were driving.
Literally, since this happened, I've been telling you and Mom, like, I get that it's my friends, but you can't even get info out of me because I wasn't there, and people would still be like, "Okay, but like, how did it happen?"
But
I'm like,
you are guilty by association.
But I'm like, I get that I'm guilty, but you've asked me how it happened 6 times. I was not at the crime scene. I was
but
not
you could
there.
ask them and find out.
I didn't know. They wouldn't tell me. I had to learn it from freaking Declan. I was like, I don't know. I am the one who's in trouble here.
I mean, this has been
I am the one who's
years?
in trouble here, and I am the one who is the least in the know. And it was 6, 7, dude. Like, I'm 22 years old now. That was like 8 years ago. Yeah.
Well, to this day, we still have a crooked spigot. Because the only way to fix it is to have to dig up the dirt and go down.
You can't just ding it.
You can't bend it back because it'll split the pipe. And then
that metal is already. I mean,
so
she's soft. So
yeah, and then also at that same period, I don't know if it was the same night, but Declan said that there was some kind of game that you guys would play where you would try to throw the person off the back seat.
Oh, I mean, well, that was. I mean, but that's just classic.
Yeah, but why the seat is all wonky the way it was is because you tipped the golf cart over. He said that because it turned so hard that it flew the one person, but then the whole golf cart tipped over, and so because when I got on the seat, it just like moves all the way around, and I'm like, what did those guys do?
Have they been having wrestling matches just on the back seat?
Oh my gosh! And I do think the one light was like all shooting the wrong direction. I was like, these guys.
It was shooting blanks for sure. Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
So, that freaking golf cart. I love that golf cart so much.
I liked it and hated it at the same time.
I miss it so much.
It was one of those. It was just your plain simple golf cart.
White,
it had a back seat on it.
Nothing complicated.
But
no
the thing,
bells and
you had to constantly choke it, and you'd have to sit there and hold the pedal at just the spot and just let it. Turn the
There
starter.
was only one speed. If like it wasn't like I would always have it floored because it wouldn't be any different if I had it halfway. You just have it floored and it would go at a pretty good speed. And then how did we get rid of it? Was it Grandpa?
Yeah. So
I was so upset with him. I was like, why?
Grandpa traded it to get the
Gator,
the Ranger,
yeah, and that thing is.
Oh, also in the middle yard. Remember, there's those little whoop-de-doos that goes out. That was a ramp spot too. That I know Declan always hit that.
Oh yeah, the one where the tree used to be.
Yeah,
that was a dangerous one. That was one that I always told my friends that I can hit it when they're in the back, but you can't hit it when I'm in the back because that thing
it would launch makes people you fly off the back
a foot up in the air, and you're on the back seat trying to hold on. Oh yeah, that was freaking dangerous, man. And then Grandpa traded it in for the Ranger, and that thing. I mean, you would think freaking 100 mile per hour golf cart with friggin'
monster tires on it.
You would think that would be more fun, but it was like too perfect. I felt like King Midas, where everything I touched turned to gold, and then the value was lost.
It's it's more of like a work thing.
It's a work vehicle.
It's a work vehicle,
I lost my play vehicle because when I would come home from school, I used to love just putting in my headphones and just driving around in the the golf cart. That was like, that felt amazing. Like that's like I wasn't old enough to drive, and I was still learning, and I was getting better at, turning and knowing when to accelerate and when to brake, and we would skid, we would do donuts and stuff, and you could have your headphones in. It wasn't like you were driving, if mom or dad needed you, they would just call you because they already knew your phone was hooked up to your headphones. Like, it was freaking awesome. And then Grandpa got rid of it for the Ranger, which I was like, it's not old girl, but let's try it. And it was like, it's just a car. It's really just a car. And I was like,
it became more of a machine.
There is no character. There is no fun to this. I'm just driving, and now my life is at stake because this thing is going.
Yeah, it goes 60 mile an hour. Yeah, and so
the golf cart would hit 40 on a good day.
No,
30,
35 tops.
30 on a good day. Yeah. So, oh man, yeah, no. The golf cart
awesome. Was fun.
I've got a lot of golf cart stories, but
it was one of those that kind of, obviously you guys kind of, beat it up a bit, but it was one of those kind of like kick around kind of things that you didn't. Not that you were trying to break it, but you didn't really be that concerned about it, like you. Because it wouldn't go fast enough to do any real harm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a lot of golf cart stories, but I think I'll save them for when I have like Soaring on and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the Core 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
that's, I initially thought it was Core 4. And then it's like, well,
Core 4 wasn't the destructive group.
Saw Mr. E, and it's like, that just has his name all over it. And then learned that it's not Mr. E.
Exactly. No.
And it's like, well, it wasn't him.
The Core 4 was, we broke some stuff, but it wasn't. I have this one friend of mine that is like
bull in China's shop.
Maybe what like Pharaoh felt like when the angel of death came during Passover. We were Pharaoh, and E was the angel of death that would go through the city, and every door that wasn't marked in lamb's blood would get their firstbborn killed. Like, he would just
never intentional.
No, like, we took out an entire trampoline net. Yeah. We took out an entire golf cart. He took out about 30 halogen light bulbs. He took out plenty of toys. He took out a few of his own bones. Like he
didn't have any injuries when he was at our place.
No, not us, but just in general. No, he is what we call a cockroach, because he's on a different level. Love him, and he's gonna be a fun guest to have on. But
indestructible, can't kill him.
I would need to teach him how to use Discord first, which will be fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's like trying to teach. Yeah. So, yeah. And I was but the funny bow on this story is this same kid we're talking about. I was also the what's the title?
Minister.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Well, not minister.
Officiator.
Officiant.
I officiated his wedding, so it all kind of wraps around in a nice little brotherly tug and hug. So yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe. Those of you on video, you might be confused. No, The camera did not stop 4 times in the last hour and a half, but it may look like it. Just a reminder to subscribe to the YouTube, to follow us on all streaming platforms, and rate us where you can. I know Spotify has a feature where you can rate us 5 stars, rate us anything less than 5 stars, and we will have Ethan himself come over and break your golf cart. And other than that, do you have anything else to say, Dad?
Nope. Just enjoy the time again.
Yep. Tune into
Illinois.
Tune into the entire state. Choose a random radio channel.
I'm not sure where you're going.
Illinois. He has a son who plays for Illinois. So tune into him. First name, last name, Declan Dooley. So he's going to be playing sometime soon. He
Illinois
hasn't yet,
football.
But we are hoping he does get put in. He's a left-footed kicker, which makes him a little more weirder than he already is. And he won't listen to this episode. So thank you guys for joining us here at the Something Cafe. This has been episode 36, and you can catch us next week at the same spot, same cup of coffee here at the Something Cafe.
But I won't be here.
Dad won't be here. He will be listening, but he won't.
I know you'll be sad.
He'll be listening on the lawnmower when he's mowing, thinking about when his children's fish
and
rotted.
Find more things you guys
Find
destroyed.
more things to save up the next time he comes down and we watch another comedian. So, thank you.